too far behind. Back when we both said goodbye, you're in every face I see, even strangers on the street. You live in this radio, there's nowhere that I can go. Try to run, try to hide, I leave your memory behind. Like a shadow, you want me, take you everywhere with me, take you everywhere with me. I would walk across the world, million miles from what we were, if that would free me from your chains, help me forget your name. Try to run, I try to hide, I leave your memory behind. Like a shadow, you won't leave, I take you everywhere with me, take you everywhere with me. Oh, I can't shake you, I can't make you go away, and I can't take this haunting me for one more day. Try to run, try to hide, leave your memory behind. Like a shadow, you won't leave, take you everywhere with me. Try to run, try to hide, I leave your memory behind. Like a shadow, you won't leave, take you everywhere with me, take you everywhere with me. Oh, no. feel like I can't speak. My vision gets a little hazy. The world around me disappears. I slowly go a little crazy. I hold your body close, but my heart, it isn't here. Lost inside the silence, broken down with fear. I need to hold you like it's the first night. Take us back in time, press rewind. Why can't I say what's on my mind? I don't wanna shut down, I wanna open up my heart. Gotta fight through this darkness before the silence tears us apart. Free me from these chains, now throw my feet to the ground. Gotta fight through this darkness, 'cause I don't wanna shut down, down, down. I don't wanna shut down, down, no, no. Turn the cameras off, it's like I'm in a silent movie, and I forgot my lines. If only you could read them to me. I'm powerless, I'm frozen, while you're standing in the dark. I need to be the man you fell for. Can we go back to the start? I need to hold you like it's the first night. Take us back in time, press rewind. Why can't I say what's on my mind? I don't wanna shut down, I wanna open up my heart. Gotta fight through this darkness before the silence tears us apart. Free me from these chains, now throw my feet to the ground. Gotta fight through this as I sail with you across the finest oceans, on our way to find the key to our emotions. Together we will move the clouds to brighter days. Some people question what I say, try to break up you and me, but I know this love between us is growing stronger. You can call me whenever, from wherever, just remember that, and I'll be there through all the storm weather. Break up never, no, we'll be together forever. You don't miss your water till the well runs dry, but I believe so strongly in you and I. Can somebody answer me the question why? You don't miss your water till the well runs dry. As I close my eyes, sit back while reminiscing of when we used to fuss and fight, but end up kissing. There may be sad and painful times along the way, but in my heart you'll always be everything and more to me. For I know this love between us is growing stronger. You can call me whenever, from wherever, just remember that, and I'll be there through all the storm weather. Break up never, no, we'll be together forever. You don't miss your water till the well runs dry, but I believe so strongly in you and I. Can somebody answer me the question why? You don't miss your water till the well runs dry. For you are always on my mind. You are always on my mind. Girl, you know that you are always, you're always on my mind. You are always, forever. You don't miss your water till the well runs dry, but I believe so strongly in you and I. Can somebody answer me the question why? Oh yeah, you don't miss your water till the well runs dry. Whoa, you don't miss your water, girl, no. I believe so strongly in you and I. Yeah, can somebody answer me the question why? Yeah, 'cause you don't miss yours till the well runs dry. Yeah, listen, if you ever get the feeling you wanna play around, start cheating, man, but you don't miss your water till the well runs dry. sounds in bloom with you, 'cause you seem like an orchard of minds. Just take one step at a time. Some gold forged plan of life so incomplete.
1993 came the internet, and like a tidal wave, pornography flooded the World Wide Web as a generation became consumed. And now, for the first time in history, hardcore pornography can be accessed from anywhere and at any time. So what does this mean for our generation? Through new innovations in brain technology, psychology, and sociology, we now know the truth about pornography. Porn is like a drug. It can rewire the brain, form addictions, alter views about sex, objectify the human body, fuel the demand for sex slavery, and reshape society as a whole. Pornography is often violent and abusive, a degrading lie that distorts the very meaning of healthy relationships and love. We are the first generation in the history of the world to face the issue of pornography to this intensity and scale. We are also the first generation with a science-based understanding of the harm pornography can do. And with that knowledge, we feel the responsibility to share it with others. We are determined to be the generation who pursues real love and rejects its hollow counterfeit. We will fight this new drug, and we will not rest until the world knows that pornography is harmful.
I want to talk to you about this, our brain. It's something that we all have, performing at different capacities, I'm sure, but still, we all have one, and it was given to us for free just for being born, and it's the powerhouse of our bodies. Without it, of course, we just drop dead, because you can't function without it. So it's the most valuable thing that each of us possess. So it's pretty important that we protect it, right? And luckily we have these things called skulls to help us out. Sometimes we challenge those skulls and do things that kind of hurt our brains, like this. And this. This one's the worst. Oh! I don't even know what he's thinking. And sometimes we just make stupid decisions with those brains, and you know, this guy. Luckily this guy's wearing a helmet, so. But what are some other things that might hurt our brains? Obviously we've got alcohol. We've got drugs, and we've got, you know, big metal balls with spikes on the end of them, but I want to talk about a new drug. The thing is, pornography is not all that new. It's been around since the beginning. So why are we calling it a new drug? Well, that's because scientists are just now, over the last decade, beginning to understand what pornography really does, how it affects our brains, and psychologists are understanding how it affects our behaviors, and sociologists, our society. And so we're just beginning to understand that it can be just as addictive as drugs, as hard drugs. And we'll explain how, because I know that there's some skeptical eyes out there kind of thinking, wait a second, drugs? Really? I don't sniff it, I don't inhale it, I don't inject it. How is pornography like a drug? But first, you're probably wondering, we're teenagers, Why are you talking to us? Why are you talking to us about pornography? It's an uncomfortable topic, right? In fact, I bet you anything that as you guys came into this, as you kind of found out what this was going to be all about, you thought to yourself, oh boy, here we go. Shoot, how do I get out of this? I mean, not a lot of people like to talk about it, but it's becoming more and more of an issue, and we got to deal with it. And here's why we're talking to you guys. The largest group of internet porn users is youth, ages 12 to 17. You guys. 90% of the people watching this video right now fit into that group. Do you know what the average age of exposure is for pornography? 11 years old. 11! And 9 out of 10 youth ages 8 to 16 have seen it. So we know what it is. We know what it is. We're not here to define it. Get this. Every second, now, 30,000 people are viewing online pornography. And what was the largest group of internet porn users? 12 to 17. So you see how a lot of those are there. And girls, watching this right now, listen up. A lot of you tune out for topics like this. You kind of think, okay, it's a guy's issue. It's not my issue. Recent statistics show that 30% of addicts are women. That number has skyrocketed over the last decade, and it's growing. So current research is showing that pornography is a drug, and that it can lead to addiction. But some of you are looking out there going like, well, how? It doesn't make any sense. How? Again, I don't sniff it, I don't smoke it. Well, how? Let me show you. Pornography goes in through the eyes, in through the iris, and triggers a release of chemicals in your brain. Chemicals like dopamine, serotonin, epinephrine, oxytocin. Now this is a science class, but you may have heard of some of those. Now these are natural chemicals that your body produces. These chemicals are needed. When you do drugs, hard drugs, or look at pornographic material, your brain is overloaded with these chemicals. After you keep looking at porn, your brain gets used to those high amounts and builds up a tolerance. Those same images that once gave you a rush don't have the same effect anymore. In order to get that same rush, it not only takes more of it, but it also takes a more hardcore version of it. Your brain becomes dependent on that rush of chemicals and literally rewires itself to think that that's normal, and so you cannot function without it. That is addiction. The same process happens with cocaine and heroin. They can't stop.
Hello!
I'm going, I'm ready.
Oh yeah, I love technology. Makes my day easy.
I use my computer and I use my phone all of the time.
I'm always texting the ladies, of course.
Depending on if I'm doing homework, I use the internet for that, or I get on Facebook, talk to friends, load pictures.
I use it every day.
I don't know, I mean, if I didn't have technology, I couldn't listen to music as easily.
Without? I don't know. I love technology. I use it every day.
Well, obviously with technology there's like so many things that could like come up, and like just because it's so open and so many people are on it and there's so much access. And I remember being little and like having things pop up and I have no idea what they are, just scared that they popped up. I was just like, what the crap?
Pornography is kind of that taboo word that someone says porn and you're like, oh, let's not talk about it, let's change the subject, you know?
I think I just remember a pop-up came up and I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I do? And like you try to click out and you're just like freaking out.
And then, boom, there's a pornographic picture and you're just, it's not what you wanted, but it's there.
Like it's just something that you just cringe at. You're just kind of like, oh, why? A lot of the television shows I watch, they start off with like a lot of like things hinting towards it, and then you start watching that more and more and you get used to it thinking it's okay. You're just kind of getting immune to it, but you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be getting immune to this.
Because once you get into it, once you look at it, you get a little curious. It starts progressing after that, and it's not good.
But I think the everyday teen is not educated enough to know it's an addiction, and that's how they end up getting hooked and addicted.
They're trying so hard to get people and target people that they put it anywhere they can.
If they start while you're young, then they've got you for a long time. They've got you for life because it's an addiction.
And at that age, you don't think it's gonna happen, but it does.
If my friends were ever looking at porn or anything, I think I would just You know, I wouldn't be like judgmental. I'd just be like, tell them how it is.
Obviously it's their own choice, but yeah, I care for them because they're my friends.
I think they should know what they're getting into before they get into it and how much it will affect their lives. Yeah, everyone deserves to know the truth about what it does to you and how it can hurt you.
And like how it affects the chemicals in your brain or what it does to your mindset.
When you know the truth about pornography, the moment you're exposed to it, you can just be like, oh, I know what's really going on.
Just think about it. Think about your future, not what you want now. I don't think pornography is cool at all, and it's not respectful to other people at all either. It is so not cool, and if you ever get exposed to that, don't ever do it or I'll beat you up.
Guys, pornography is just not cool at all.
This is not cool. Pornography is just, it's not cool. Don't do it.
Like I said, it's destructive. It's not good at all, so just stay away from it.
Yeah.
Become a fighter.
Become a fighter.
Become a fighter.
I am a fighter, and you should become a fighter too.
That's all I got.
What made me consider that I may have a problem with porn was that I actually came across an online community where people dedicate themselves to not masturbating and not viewing pornographic material, and hearing the success stories of the community and things, and I thought, you know, maybe I don't need this. I mean, how necessary is it? And you know, no one's going to be on their deathbed and mean, damn, I wish I masturbated more. And there you go, 93,000 Fapstronauts, all committing themselves to not masturbating. It's like a brotherhood in it together, and it's particularly helpful when they post motivation, success stories, and their own struggles that you can relate to. Guys watch too much porn. Those girls don't exist, they're not real girls. There's some truth in that. I'll explain the term that they use in the community, and it's called PMO, and PMO refers to pornography, masturbation, orgasm. So that is what you're eliminating, particularly the last part is what you want to avoid. Oh, I'm surrounded by screens. You just go Command Shift N, incognito, blah 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 blah, and you're there. High definition. That's the problem. You know what, I'd already been challenging myself, and I was lasting streaks of maybe 8 to 15 days tops, and since then I'm on my current best streak, which is 86 days. Well, it turns out I'm actually up to my 87th day, which shows you that I'm not really paying too much attention to it anymore. The first few weeks, you know, every single day you keep track of it, but now it's become a more normal thing for me. Anyone I've told about my challenge, they think it's silly, but as I sort of explain a bit about it, they sort of come around to the idea, which is how my friend got involved. Hey man, what's happening?
Not much. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm alright.
That's alright.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Keep for some FIFA.
Him and I have a challenge, and we're both making it to 90 days. What helped motivate us also, besides our competitive nature, is the $100 bet we placed. Oh, shit. Still got it. We talk about it every now and then. You know, we'll go aside, you know, everyone's like, what are they doing, you know, and we're off talking about, you know, how do you feel? You know, yeah, feel good, yeah.
Yeah, you go through your periods, like, I more find that I'm inclined and I have the feelings to masturbate after a night of drinking or something like that.
Yeah, but there's definitely hard times, definitely.
The first 2 weeks was quite hard.
Yeah. You know, it has a hold on you. It's something that releases dopamine, or you find enjoying in short-term gratification, definitely. Yep. And that's what's addicting about it.
Definitely, and by watching porn and doing the deed,
yes,
you are. It's just an escape from reality for 10 minutes.
You're not thinking about your problems. You're not considering anything else. That's, you know, you're in that area.
Yep. Like, you just got to break yourself out of that. So it's been a rough journey.
At times. Well, so far I think it has changed me a lot. I've almost reached the 90 days, and to be honest, I'm not sure what to do after the 90 days. At the very least, not masturbating and viewing porn saves me a lot of time. Without it, I've found that, wow, I've got to do something, you know. I'm working out regularly, I'm keeping my diet in order, and I'm just doing things that I think are more worthwhile. I'm still any person with problems. I just feel better equipped to attack them, you know. There comes a point where you just slap the laptop shut and you walk away from it.
What's up, guys? It's me, and I'm finally delivering my 90-day no-fat report. Wow. Let me first start by saying that I never, ever thought that I would make it to 90 days, or beyond 90 days. I was one of the guys who was so stuck in the cycle that I would just tell myself that guys are just destined or hardwired to masturbate to porn. I believe that with every ounce of my being, and that's what kept me in that cycle. I'm here to tell you, no, we are not destined to do so. Here I am, someone who was masturbating to porn 3 or more times a day for 14, 15 years straight. Guys, right now I feel like a breath of fresh air, and that is the best way I could possibly put it. I'm here to show you that this is something that you can overcome. This is for the guys who are maybe in the same mindset that I was in, or maybe who are hitting some obstacles that are keeping them from stopping. This is to provide you a little bit of hope that there is greener grass on the other side, I promise you. So without further ado, these are some of the benefits that I've experienced so far with my journey. Keep in mind these are in no particular order, but the first two are the ones that stood out to me the most. My memory. So I know I talked about this in one of my other videos, but the memory is probably the most obvious of all the benefits that I've experienced up until this point. I'm recalling the most minute details from emails at work from like months ago. My boss the other day was like, oh, good memory. Because she knows me to have like a bad memory, so even she's catching on. She's seeing these things change. So memory has been one of the greatest takeaways that I've received so far in this no-fat journey. Next up, this one was neck and neck with memory because it's the most powerful, it's the most impactful benefit that I've experienced so far. It's my drive to succeed, it's my motivation, and most importantly, it's the belief that I have in myself. Prior to 90 days, I didn't have a future. I was going literally nowhere because I didn't believe that I was capable of achieving anything. And that's just something that came with the whole mindset of someone who is trapped in a cycle of PMO. The belief that I have in myself now, you cannot put a price on that. I'm now seeing and believing that there is unlimited potential in the world, that I can achieve literally anything that I want to achieve. And I'm not just thinking it, but I'm believing it. And I did not have that before. I mean, that is honestly the most powerful thing that I've experienced in my life thus far. The belief that I can accomplish anything. So that should actually be number one, now that I'm thinking about it. Is that powerful? Next is my feeling of present awareness, or being present. I'm more present when I speak with people, for instance. When they speak to me, I listen. I process what it is they're saying, and I deliver a response in one fluid motion, one fluid thought, without having to stutter, stammer, think for words, or try to recall what it is they were talking about because I wasn't paying attention. I'm focused, I'm centered in, and that is refreshing. It's refreshing beyond words. Next kind of goes hand in hand with the whole presentness. When I speak with people or when I'm talking in certain situations, like I just said, I don't stutter, I don't stammer, I don't try to think for words. Words, thoughts, sentences just flow out of me so fluidly. Next up is my confidence, and I'm not just saying this with women, but I'm saying confidence in myself. I'm more aware of self, and that shows when I step into a room full of people. It shows when I walk down the street with my shoulders back, my head held high. It shows everywhere, and so that the responses that I get from interacting with people are much more noteworthy. I'm a confident man in myself. Becoming confident in my own shoes, I feel it's all coming together. Next is I'm generally just a happier dude. I'm happier to be alive. I'm finding happiness in the smallest of things. A flower, the sunshine, the trees, the beach, everything I'm finding peace and happiness content, and it just makes me much more of a fun person to be around. I'm happy, I'm light, I feel like a feather, just everything is so good, which then translates to having a more positive and more optimistic outlook on life, which goes hand in hand with what I was saying in the beginning about knowing that I can accomplish anything, knowing that everything is possible. So optimism levels are just out the roof. Once you feel or believe you can achieve something, then you can do it. But if you don't feel like you're capable of anything, then you're not going to do anything with your life. So this is something that's definitely taking place within me now. Optimism, happiness, gratitude, peace, love, all of that. It's all good. Next is something that I mentioned in another video, which is brain fog. The brain fog is just gone. It's all burned off. And because of that, all of my body's senses are responding to everything. I'm not desensitized to a beautiful sunset. I'm not desensitized to a beautiful world. I'm not desensitized to motivational speeches. Everything is of color in my life because that gray, dull, dingy fog is gone. Amazing. Next is kind of hard to really describe this one, but it's a feeling of freedom. I feel like I've been living with, one of those massive black balls chained to my feet, just walking slow, and it's like I can jump, but I can't jump as high as I know I'm capable of jumping. That's also because I don't have the motivation to do so. I just feel that everything is lifted off. It's really hard to explain, but it's a sense of freedom. Knowing where you were at a certain point, trapped in a box full of addiction, to being out of it, it's literally like being free from jail. I mean, I just feel free. I just feel so free. Hard to really explain that one. Something I noticed is that I'm making a lot more healthier decisions in my life. And this goes anywhere from the things that I eat to the things that I do. I'm making more healthy decisions when I eat food. When it comes time to making plans for the weekend, it's like I'm not making any more plans that revolve around consuming unhealthy amounts of alcohol. I don't even drink anymore. I haven't even had a drink in about 2 months. Now that I've turned down porn, I'm seeing and finding other ways that I can eliminate the things that are stopping me from becoming the greatest expression of myself. So good. It's so good to make these changes, make these choices, knowing that I'm making the healthiest choice for me at this given moment. It just feels amazing. Next is my skin complexion, which is actually, it's good. It's like I feel like I'm almost glowing. I use Proactive, or I used it in the past. I don't have a need for it anymore, but dude, people are complimenting my skin. They're saying I'm radiating. You know how women that get pregnant, they got that pregnant glow? Well, I've got that no PMO glow. No, it's awesome. My skin is more clean, more clear. I have no bumps anywhere. I don't have bumps on my face. I'll get an occasional pimple every once in a while. I'm human, and maybe it's because of the healthier food choices I'm making. I don't know, but clear skin, compliments from women, I'll take that. The difference between who I was then and the man that I'm growing into now is like black and white. For instance, my days used to look like this. I would wake up 1 hour before having to go to work. I'd masturbate to porn. I would rush to the shower. I'd rush to my car. I would go to work, get home from work, masturbate to porn, stuff myself with junk food, sit in front of the computer on Facebook or Netflix all day, go to bed, masturbate before falling asleep, and then feel like crap because of the food that I consumed, and then feel like crap because I released my semen for the 3rd time that day. What kind of life is that? It made me disgusted actually when I was thinking about that. And so my life now, I wake up 3.5 to 4 hours before I have to get up. So I'm up at 4:45. I hit the gym at 5. I work out. I get home. I have a nice, healthy breakfast. I go take a nice, long, hot shower. And I'm sorry, guys, I have not caught on to the whole cold shower thing. I get it, but I'm never gonna take a cold shower. That's just me. After my shower, I take my time. I let my body and my mind catch up to one another. My body just gotta work out. My mind's still kind of racing, but I take my time. I focus on things that I'm happy and grateful for. I get changed. I go to my car, drive to work, bring my own lunch to work. I eat healthier foods. When I get home, I find pleasure in reading. I find pleasure in looking up beneficial articles that are going to help develop me as a man. If I get a healthy dinner in before I go to bed, I'll either do a meditation, I'll do positive energy focuses or whatever, and I'll fall asleep peacefully without having to masturbate. It's perfect. My life then and my life now are just like 2 completely different people. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And all these benefits, this change, you cannot put a price on it. Watching porn, jerking off to porn, masturbating to porn, is not worth the experience that I'm living now. It's just not worth it. You can't put a price on any of this. And I really hope that you guys finally jump on board, because this is outstanding. The feelings, I had a really difficult time even making this video because I don't have the words to just express how good I feel. And once you make it past those obstacles, you're gonna learn what it is I'm talking about. You're gonna feel what it is I'm talking about. I only hope that you guys make it to this level, and I am here. I'm gonna keep on making videos for the rest of my life, whether this impacts you or whether it impacts some kid right now who's like 2 years old who's gonna fall into this habit. I want to keep doing this because this is how we should be living our lives. This is the type of men we should be, men who are in control of their lives, in control of their circumstances. I wish I had the words to better express myself, but this is the best way I can do so. And lastly, I would like to thank all of you who have been courageous enough to share with me your life stories, your life, let me in, and it takes a real man in these days to admit that I have a problem. It takes a real man to say that, hey, there's something in my life that's not right, that needs to be fixed, and I'm going to do something about it. You are to be congratulated. I applaud you. You are awakening that giant within who has been distracted by all of these mundane distractions, these irrelevant entities, porn, Facebook, social media, TV. You're awakening that man within you who is finally coming out and saying, I am a man. This is my life. Society these days is trying to get us to think that we have to be this man who has no fault, this man who's perfect, and now if you show that you have weakness, then you're going to be considered a bitch. But no, it takes a real man to admit that I have a problem and I want to do something about it. The weakest men around are the men who actually lie to themselves, telling themselves that there's nothing wrong with me. I have no fault. Those are the weak men because they don't want to confront their fears. They don't want to confront their demons. They want to hide behind this facade, hide behind this wall. So I thank each and every one of you who has come forth and said, hey, this is a problem and I'm going to fix it. Just thank you. Thank yourself. Be proud of yourself. The emails that I get from some of you guys are just awesome. I'm happy to hear that you're making these changes. It's just good to hear and see other people taking control of their lives. 90 days of no FAP is the best thing that has happened to me so far in my entire life. I can safely say that. After years of being in jail, I'm free. There's no better feeling. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. As always, email me, comment with your questions, concerns. I'm here to help. And just thank you guys. All right.